We're here, everybody.
What's up, guys?
I know you missed us.
Did they, though?
You know they did. Everybody sits all week just wanting to hear from us.
Right, yeah, I think so, too.
Where's Sean and John? Oh, she
Waiting,
stopped the music.
baby breath. Oh,
They're like,
forgot.
what are they going to have to say about this week's events?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing major really happened this week.
Nothing's going on. Nothing to see here.
I don't know. We'll talk about it. We
I
haven't
guess
really
I need to
thought
turn the
about it.
mics on, man. Dang.
So much to do. So much to do around here.
Yeah. All right, now we on.
There we go.
We on the app. What's up, y'all? It has been a pretty uneventful week.
Yeah,
I don't know what to
I
talk.
pretty
It's
much
like
just relaxed.
pretty boring.
Didn't think about world events. Just kind of hung
Nothing
out.
was happening really to even pay attention to. They're
Yeah.
waiting on the playoffs starting today. You watching football?
Okay. Yeah, no.
No?
I resent football because the Super Bowl sometimes is on my birthday,
When's your birthday?
January 31st.
Is it? Dang, I didn't know that, man. So your birthday's coming up too.
Yeah, it is.
Dude.
You're a fellow Aquarius, right?
Yeah, my birthday's
And
on
my
the
sister Keisha, who just commented that she can't wait to hear our thoughts, also an Aquarius.
Is
It's
she?
weird how all the best people are Aquarius,
Yeah,
right?
you know, did you see the meme I put up about Aquarius? We were like, hey, all of you are wrong.
Yeah.
Speaking to the masses.
An Aquarius.
Just need you to
That's
listen
right.
to us and pay attention, man.
Also, thanks, Key. I didn't know you even watched, but she
Yeah.
also knows the Aquarius are
Yeah,
the best.
what's up, Q? That's great, man. So, yeah, honestly, it was some crazy ass shit that happened, man.
Some crazy-ish this
Yeah,
week.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I knew that there was gonna be a rally or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But bruh, when the police was like, "Ole,
Yeah,
they up there, they
Yeah,
that
exactly.
way."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, bruh, it was nuts." I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
I like how the discussion has been like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Well, we know exactly how everybody, the day before I was talking to Les, and he's like, I think there's gonna be some bloodshed.
Yeah.
I was like, really? You think so?
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, I know Trump's like really pushing this. He's like, there's gonna be wild protests on January 6th.
Right.
Like the president of the United States was calling for wild protests.
It's gonna be wild, literally.
Yeah.
Word for word.
And people are like, that's weird.
Yeah,
I don't.
this doesn't even
It's
make
weird
sense.
that people showed up and
they were there ready
agitated.
to do what he said to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, me too. I had people inbox me like, "Hey, man, they gonna make me act a fool if they go up in that White House and acting." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh."
I mean, they could have gone to the White House. I would have.
Yeah.
Go in there,
Yeah.
ransack that place.
That's how I was too. I was like, you know, man, shit, I don't know, but like, I'm not saying that. I don't know, man. I wasn't that upset.
Well,
Just
it was
to be
funny.
honest,
We
bro,
were-
like that place, you know what? Somebody need to ransack that there. And what I was mad about, well, I guess because you were really mad about it first, so you could say, what were you mad about? You told me that they don't get to do that.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Well, we were watching it. I decided. So I was on Twitter and I saw like, oh, they breached the barricades, and I was all
Right.
like, just really annoyed. Cause I'm all, no. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Right wingers don't get this.
Yeah.
They don't get to smash through barricades and occupy government buildings. So I was like, I'm gonna go down to Chinook Center and build some shelves. I don't know. I was annoyed.
That was a
Like,
good. Hey, that was a good.
I'm just gonna go down there.
Placement of energy.
Ching,
man.
ching, ching. You know, just like do some woodworking.
Build the community, right?
And Sam was just like, oh, I got some work to do anyway. But we ended up putting it on the big screen down there.
Yeah.
And Sam was just like, ha 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 ha, like laughing and like
That was
had
me.
all these, like smart alecky comments, and this was me.
That was
You don't
me.
get this. You do
Yeah.
not get this.
Yeah.
Fascists do not get to take the Capitol.
Right, right.
It's, like that's the thing. People like clutching their pearls. Like, how could they do this to the people's house? I'm like, I don't care about the people's
Me
house.
either, yeah.
I care that it was fascists.
Right, doing it.
In the
Yeah,
people's house.
that's the part that was like, that's kind of whack that they let them do that, man. But because for me, when we talked, like, there was not a chance. You couldn't have talked me into doing no shit like that. Like, man, I would
No,
like,
I couldn't have talked to you
no,
to storm
bro.
in the
Like,
Capitol.
there is not a chance that I would believe that you could break a window in there and not get shot in your head.
True, that's true. I
I
would
don't-
have
I
felt the
would not
same.
have been like,
If people
man,
started doing that, I'd be like, whoa, think about what's happening. You're gonna get shot.
Right.
Or
yeah, I wouldn't even
something,
let
you
it
know.
organize around me.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, listen, that's stupid as hell. It didn't even make it, I couldn't even fathom seeing what I saw. Like, what the I couldn't even like register. So then I'm like, oh wait. Oh yeah, there's no black faces.
Oh yeah, let's all.
Oh, there's no Hispanic, there's no brown.
It's all
there's nothing.
65-year-old white guys.
Right. Oh, that's
Right.
why nobody's getting shot in the face with bullets and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
They weren't even. I mean, we talked about this. That first row of cops.
yeah.
They didn't even have their clubs. They didn't have anything. They were just.
They was out there
They were
with-
just like throwing fists at the guys.
They
You
was
know
out
what
there
I'm
with
saying?
gator necks and goggles and shit.
Yeah.
You know, not even goggles, like glasses. You know,
Yeah,
and bite, like they were bite cops. It looked like they had
Yeah.
bite. That's the only reason they had helmets on. I think. Because they were bite cops.
Because they were bite cops. I've
Then
never
he was-
seen.
They traded blows with him though, wasn't he? I was like,
yeah.
dang man. So anyway, good man. Y'all should. That's y'all problem. That's how the country needs that. They need to. It just needs to fight itself. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the. Like did you? There was a man. I forgot what movie I was watching just recently on Netflix. But anyway, I won't get in the weeds. But literally, this guy he killed. Somebody got killed, and he left him on the side of the road. Went and told his dad, and they came back to find the person that he left on the side of the road. And as they were looking for this person, they run into this snake that's like eating its own tail. And it was like the weirdest scene because they were all hyped up, like running through this cornfield looking for this dead body, and they found this snake like eating its own tail.
What are these weird movies you watch?
Weird. It was the weirdest shit. And I was like, and they both stopped too, and they were like, what the fuck? They just stared at it like, wait, what am I looking at? That's how I felt. I felt like the snake was eating its own tail. And it was like, what the hell is going on here, man?
Or those Spider-Man memes where they're like Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you what? Yeah. It's like a person in a mirror punching itself, you know, like two fascists punching each other. Oh!
And like Scooby-Doo when they pull the mask off, like, like, no, it's really this guy.
It was the police all along.
Man, fuck these fucking people. I can't believe that shit, man. Anyway, man. Do your thing, bro. Like, whatever. So now, well, there's two things that I'm kind of annoyed with. I'm annoyed with now all of a sudden this impeach or 25th Amendment that I didn't even know existed, and then, or if not, then we're gonna impeach this guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all of a sudden now we're quitting and resigning and.
Yeah.
And now it's just too much. Like,
bro, oh, this was the final straw.
Like, man, get
what?
your ass out of here, man. Like,
this was the final straw.
This was it for them.
Not when he was like, Charlottesville, that was cool. So here's the thing. Fascists killed a woman in Charlottesville.
They did. Yeah.
Why didn't hundreds of people resign? I guess it hasn't been hundreds. Oddly enough, it hasn't been hundreds of people resigning.
Yeah.
Why didn't people resign?
Hundreds of people still went ahead with their challenging Arizona and Philadelphia and Pennsylvania.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or do you remember when they were like asking like, do you accept the endorsement of David Duke, that Klansman? He's like, what? Sorry, what? Who? Sorry, what?
I don't know who that is.
Klansman, David Duke. I don't.
Right.
And people were like, oh, you know, well, he said he didn't know who he was.
You're not American. You don't know who that dude is. Like, get your ass out of here, man. So yeah, man. So I don't know. What do we do, man? That's what the whole time I was thinking. Like, well, anyway, I was like. Talking shit on Facebook, doing my thing. Like, man, these guys, look at this shit. It was funny to me, you know what I'm saying? The video, This Is America came to mind, like, with Childish Gambino, like, this is America, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it was like craziness going on, and I just wanted to, like, be the one dancing on the TV, like, this is America in front of the camera. And I wanted to be there to do that for them. But, so anyway, it was just like, all right, all the news spin is going to do what the news spin does, and now all of a sudden they finally recognize that the police treat black people and people of color.
Well, I have to say that's been one thing that I've been refreshed to see.
Yeah.
Is that people are like, wait, it seems like just a couple months ago this was like totally different. That picture that's being shared around everywhere, that's like those military cops.
Yeah.
Guarding it wasn't even the Capitol, it was the Lincoln Monument. So there were no people there.
Yeah.
It was just the monument
the soldiers
itself, and they had soldiers there.
Right.
So people have been actually like commenting on, on the difference in policing, and it is crazy. I've been to so many protests in my life, and big protests like protesting presidents.
Right.
Like at least on a few occasions, protesting presidents where presidents were.
Yeah.
For example, the World Arena. Here in Colorado Springs, right? There were like, I don't know, like maybe 500
cops.
Demonstrators.
Oh, I would say yeah.
And the
felt
cops,
like there was like 500 cops. There might not have been that.
There probably weren't that many, but the cops immediately were like, "Oh, okay, full."
Yeah, they were there.
Full riot gear, arresting people immediately.
Like,
you know, they're like, "Okay, boom, target those people, target those people, target those people," pulling
like
people out of the crowd.
Like, man, every time I see that video of them manhandling you, bro, I get mad as fuck every time.
It's
like,
probably okay then.
Man, dude. So anyway.
But they were targeting it, and they even said, we were targeting these agitators, you know, pulling agitators out of the crowd. Then you had this summer in Colorado Springs. Let's just look at equivalencies here.
Yeah.
What people got so freaked out about in downtown Colorado Springs were a couple of windows got broken. And people were like, blood! We want blood! And the police were out. And there's so many pictures of basically every cop in Colorado Springs was out. El Paso County sheriffs were out. They brought Teller County. They brought the Teller County armored vehicle down, plus the Colorado Springs armored vehicle. Like, that's what was out because of a couple broken windows at the police station.
Mm-hmm.
And they arrested, 38 people that first night in Colorado Springs?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't know if people were down there, but I can't even count the number of tear gas canisters that they launched and pepper balls. And I was only there for, like,
me too.
Part of the night,
I wasn't even there that long. Maybe a couple hours. And I mean, as soon as I got there, I got gas. Like it was like, oh, there's one, and they shot a thing at me. I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, you know me, the CS is just, I know, you know, I could control it in there. But I was like able to go through with the camera, and I'm like, what was y'all just shooting at? There's nothing going on the street. Like you guys are just shooting these canisters out here, in case there's people over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
It was ridiculous, man.
And they arrested 38 people that first night. And then, you know, there were maybe 1,000 people at the height of the protests there in Colorado Springs. And that first day in D.C., they arrested 52 people for storming into the tens of thousands of people and storming into the Capitol, smushing cops to death.
Is that how many they get? That was the official
there
number?
have been more now, but like that first day. And I didn't see them arresting. And
that seems like a high number, bro, because they, like, you know, when they were talking to the mayor, she was at like 14.
Yeah, there were
you know
like,
they were
like,
and
it
was
already, for example.
It was already like 7, 8 o'clock at night. That seems like.
I think it was after the curfew. So they arrested I'm sure they arrested people on curfew violations, which is nothing.
That thing there, they didn't arrest no 50 people, bro.
They
would have had them on. They would have had them on camera getting marched out or something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, did you see the video of them? You know, the lady. The cop is holding the lady's hand, walking her down the stairs.
Oh my God, man, yeah, dude.
And taking selfies.
Taking selfies with him at the door, bro. Yeah, man, that whole shit. And you know so I guess they got a union, of course, and their union put out a thing saying that they did their job, that they guarded life over property or valued life over property, and like so, you know. While they were tearing all that shit up, they were in there getting the people out and putting them away wherever they were going and whatnot. That's why they didn't have the reaction. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then they were like, our leadership failed us. The union said that.
Oh, right.
They already ate the bullet and resigned, probably because none of that shit don't make any sense to me, man. You know, they said that the guy, the Capitol Police chief, refused help. Like, you know, they hit him up. And they were like, hey, all of this stuff's going on. We want to send people. What are we going to do? And he told them, no, we got it under control because they were already, you know, manning up for the inauguration. Right. So why did he resign? Like, you may fire me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was doing his job exactly right, why did he resign? And then if he wasn't doing his job right, why is he allowed to resign?
Yeah.
It don't make like.
Yeah. I mean, it may have been one of those like forced resignations, I guess.
Well, yeah,
you know
but he should be facing some sort of criminal charge, bro. Like something like people died. Did you see that cop getting smushed in the door?
No, Sam was telling me about it.
Man, listen, I don't got no love for the police, but he should have been there. He should have been at home where it was safe. You know what I'm saying? But
just kicking back.
Man, that was serious. And just
I
getting
don't like
smushed.
that.
Like I've been under playing football, you know what I'm saying? Like under a pile of people and you can't breathe and you're like breathing hard on top of that. So like every breath you take, the next one is shorter, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I mean that's when those cops tackled me, I was like, okay guys, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to get off me because I don't like being on the bottom of a dog pile.
Right
Like,
here, like,
it's
calm your
just-
ass down, guys. This is ridiculous right here. But yeah, man. So I was like, I kind of felt bad for the dude. You know, they ripped his mask off his face. I was like, damn, bro. Like, I never saw that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw and of course, cops got killed. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Dude tased himself to death.
Yeah, like this
Tased
shit was like,
himself in the balls to
to
death.
have been there, I bet you it was a scary scene, man. Could you imagine seeing a dude tasing himself to death? Like, it just
Well,
had to be fucking
he was
wild.
probably getting off on the whole thing. He's like, what would happen if?
Nah, man. That was he killed himself. Dude. Then the lady had a heart attack. You know, probably in that shit because you know the whole crowd was pushing. They were counting through. They were like 1, 2, 1, 2, and they were like
that.
pushing that. I was like, oh my god, man, y'all are finna kill somebody with that shit, man. So, but anyway,
I don't even like when I'm in the front
crazy.
at a concert. and
Yeah,
people
yeah. I
press it
felt,
up
yeah,
in the
I felt
ceiling.
that before too. Yeah, man. So now there's some things going on locally that we need to make sure we pay attention to, man.
I mean, I guess the thing is, people are pointing out that this was like a horrible disaster for, you know, oh, why are white Trump supporters getting treated like with kid gloves in DC? And it happens the same everywhere. It happened here in Colorado Springs. We saw this exact same thing happen in Colorado Springs, like we were just talking about. The first 3 nights of the protests, like the police were just all over the place. Hundreds of tear gas canisters, probably, or whatever, tear gas, smoke bombs, all the different things. And then those goons came down from suburban Denver, those Trump goons, to hold their rally in Colorado Springs where they felt like it was safe.
We went live on John's page on accident, but so we'll edit it and add that to the YouTube link that we need people to log into the YouTube link and subscribe.
Atticus,
he's
my
still,
friend, sitting in the same room as him,
and he doesn't do it.
I'm like, here's the link right here. I see you on your phone. I'm sending you it. The link. Still hasn't subscribed.
Oh, man, all right, it's all right. Atticus,
I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm gonna have to do is log into his accounts.
Yeah,
and
just
subscribe.
Not
like peep or anything. Like what's
Yeah,
he doing? Just like subscribe to my YouTube.
And then and like favorite it so it pops up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can see it. Yeah, man. So anyway, sorry about that. We'll get it together over there. But yeah, we do need you guys to go to the YouTube page, man.
Because the videos are better on YouTube.
Yeah, they are.
They're edited.
They edited, you know what I'm saying? And he put like John. Hey, bravo on last week. You know, I text Sam and I was like, hey, we need to watch John because I think his ass is gonna try to run off and get a job editing for local, I don't know, leftist somewhere. Yeah, like man, listen, man, we need to stay here. All right. We need you to keep your talents here in the Springs. But though, we were talking about the uprising, the riot in DC.
And then here, how everybody's saying, oh, how could this happen in DC?
Yeah.
When they treat Black Lives Matter protesters so bad and
Right.
and white Trump protesters like with kid gloves. I was like, well, that happens everywhere.
All
That
the
happens
time.
here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
In Colorado Springs, we had the demonstration at Van Lant's house, off the Sergeant Van Lant. Because he got promoted after he killed that first guy.
He did such a good job being a murderous thug. They promoted him.
Oh,
Yeah, that's great guy.
So
I'm not scared of
people,
you, man. I'm not.
People happened to go into the roads, and a couple trucks had to wait a few more minutes to get home.
Yeah.
And they could have gone a different way.
Right.
And the police were like, riot! This is a riot! You know, a month and a half later, they were like, riot, this is a riot!
What I saw there was a riot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It took them a while. They're just thinking on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it was a riot.
Yeah.
And then just like a month later, those Trump folks come down to Colorado Springs.
They out of town.
From out of town,
same
exactly.
way they did in DC. Yeah.
And get down there at City Hall, and they're like hitting cars. They smashed a window of a car that drove by.
And we stayed home on purpose, you know what I'm saying, just because we didn't want to like amplify their whatever they were doing.
I mean, now I regret it.
I know, we should have went down there and
Fascists
fought
should
their
never
ass,
be able
man.
to be in the streets
We
unchecked.
should
This
have
is the
fought
thing.
their ass.
Antifa was right.
Right.
Like when
Antifa is
Antifa
right.
goes out and punches Nazis.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do.
They need
because
a punch in the face.
when Nazis don't get punched, they they go
into the
they
Capitol.
go into the Capitol, take pictures of themselves with their Camp Auschwitz shirts and their
son of a
Confederate
bitch,
flags. Like, actual Nazis were in the Capitol. Like, that's what people should be getting worked up about, not the fact that, like
that shit just made my skin crawl, man. It's like, you know, I'm banned off of Facebook because I went off on that dude. Like, just, you know, y'all know me, man. I don't, like, it's better for me to do that than to, like, sit here and stew over it, because right now, like, it's fucking pissing me off, you know, and I know that these motherfuckers, they're right down the street, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're posting shit on the, like, they're tagging the bus stops downtown and drawing swastikas. They're here.
There's swastikas all over the bridge by my house,
yeah,
actually.
man,
I'd
you know what I'm
scrape
saying?
them off with my knife all pissed off.
Like, yeah, it's fucking stupid, yo. And then, okay, so why are they treating them differently? Motherfucker, the reason that we're out there is because they're treating us differently. Exactly. Like, it's not any damn, like, there's no, like, aha moment, or there's none of that shit to be had. Like, this is what it's been the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm hearing the news and all of this, all of a sudden, all of these white. Anyway, I want to call them white people, but it's like, it's not just that. It's not that. You know, it's like the whole class of people is like oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? It's different than race, man. So it's all of a sudden now, here's the epiphany point, and now we're going to use it to do what? Like, what they've done is they monetized and diluted the Black Lives Matter movement, and just the name of it. They made money off it and made it not mean anything. Yep. So you're not going to continue to do it to the whole left movement. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there needs to be some pushback. Like, nah, motherfucker, don't come now. And on top of that, when we go, we need to make sure that we go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they showed us that
folks,
this is exactly how you get it done. And they're about to get the president of the United States put out early. You know what I'm saying? Either it's a week early or whatever. They're trying to do that shit.
You know who I want to see just like being dragged out of his house by whoever. And, you know, dragged out of his house and like we'll leave it up to people's imaginations what to do with him after that.
Right.
Giuliani.
Yeah, man.
I want to see Giuliani go down for this. Like,
bring
him out into the sunlight so his face will melt like what happens to ghouls when they go into the sunlight. Like, I really want that dude. And Donald Trump Jr. Like, of course Trump. I want Trump, but like those folks
the ones that are like, oh, that's my homie. That's my
exactly.
dad. Yeah,
right. Like, Trump's the big bully or whatever, and they're like, that's my big bully. You know what I'm saying?
I hate them kind of motherfuckers, man. Yeah, and then, you know, the thing that he was like, he literally, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know that I knew that there was going to be a rally, but I didn't know the president was going to speak at it. And like, the president held a rally, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just fucking crazy. Like, you know that there's thousands of people that's going to be there just because the president.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you tell them, I'm going with you. Yeah. I'm coming with you down there. And so they're thinking the fucking president is in there.
Lead. Did you see some of those flags, in fact, that people had where it was like Rambo's body with Trump's head on it? That's what they're imagining.
That's crazy as hell.
Look, you're behind bulletproof glass saying, I'm going to go down to the Capitol with you. Like, bullshit.
No, you're not.
Like, at what point did these people decide this man is a fucking con man?
Right, like a freaking lunatic. And then how did, like, do you believe Trump is going to walk down there?
No,
like, you really believe that?
They bring his golf club down there.
Oh,
like, but people like get suckered into this.
Right.
Like they're completely delusional.
To include out the editor for the Gazette.
Yeah, the Gazette.
So there's people here. You know, didn't you say that one of them went?
The Gazette. One of the editors from the Gazette and his family went out to D.C. And they were the ones that were saying, I don't know, it looks like an awful lot of Antifa folks out here to me.
Yeah.
What?
That's the news. That's our news, bro. That's our news, man.
I was watching the Gazette. I got on.
That's the biggest paper.
Yeah. When all these people started coming out, like, this is horror. I got onto the Gazette and I'm all, let's see if the Gazette has an editorial about this. And like, it took them a whole day to have an editorial. And finally, at least they did say like, this was on Trump. Trump created this. Blah 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 blah. But like,
they need to fire that dude. Both of them people.
Yeah, they have been defending him for so long.
They need to fire them people. You know. And so now it's like I got questions about Trump being banned from social media, you know what I'm saying? And like, who else gets banned from social media? You know, I said it before, like, man, they need to stop him from being able to talk publicly. Like, but not now. Like, they should have been doing it. They should have been took his account from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been crossed that line. So But anyway, but I'm thinking like, okay, so who else? Like, it's just him?
It does raise the question though. At what point, and I've had these concerns about social media. Like, they have a lot of power. So social media is the new sort of public arena,
right?
And like, who gets to decide, or how do they decide who's Twitter, like yours? They took away your
exactly. That's because for us, bro, that's nothing new. Like, this shit is nothing new. I've got banned for putting pictures of slaves, like, getting done, like whatever, the people is looking at them and shit. And I got banned on Thanksgiving for talking about Native Americans and shit that they done. Like, this really did happen. You know what I'm saying? But no, you can't talk about that here. You can't do these things here. You can't say these words here. You know what I'm saying? So that happens to all of us. Everybody that's like active on Facebook and trying to
I've never been banned.
Never, for real?
Nope.
Seriously?
It's because I keep my Facebook.
Yeah, you keep it. You're not that kind of like
small.
Yeah, like everybody that's on Facebook doing what I do on there. We've all got banned for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And like things that one time I got banned for. It was a dude in a KKK outfit. You had the cone hat and everything, and the wind was blowing up. So that picture of Marilyn Monroe, she's holding her skirt down. Like, it blew up and it was a cop outfit underneath.
Oh, right, I think I remember that.
Yeah, they banned me. Like, I didn't say nothing. I just put the picture. Another one, Dave Chappelle. He did a thing of him sitting as a slave owner, like a.
Oh yeah.
And then all of the slaves were white, and it was like white dudes with the chains and the shit that they got black people in it. They put it on TV. I got that. They banned me for that picture. Yeah, I made it my profile picture, and they banned me for it. Yeah. So anyway,
but finally Trump gets.
Finally, he gets it, man.
Yeah. You know what? What's the press gonna do now, though?
I
because
feel like
all
of the politicians, no politician need to be allowed to be on there. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Well, have you seen
once you're in public office, you don't get to use that for.
Like, you have an official platform.
Yeah, you can make a press release, or you can go do whatever politicians do to talk to the people. Like, I think that they shouldn't let. Politicians
it's pretty fun to troll politicians.
It is, but I mean, we could do it another way. Like, we could go to their house. Like, stop being lazy.
Right. Yeah, it would actually diminish the online act, because everybody thinks they're an activist because they're all, look at this clever thing. Like, actually, just yesterday, Lauren Bobbitt that just got elected from the Western Slope of Colorado.
Yeah.
She's been banning people from Facebook or from her Twitter.
Yeah, I heard that.
But then she
had
this
pronounce her name? Bobbitt?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Bobert? I have no idea.
Yeah, me either.
I don't care, to be honest.
I saw that they had a route. They organized something for her against her in Pueblo. We on live film. Against her in Pueblo.
Good. But so she's been banning people, but then she's like, Twitter, how dare you ban Trump?
Right.
And I'm like, but you're blocking people?
You're blocking people from Pueblo. They showed her, like, you blocked the one of the organizers from Pueblo. They're like, you blocked me from your Twitter account.
Yeah, and like, such a double standard.
Right. Yeah, man. So anyway, I think that all of that right there, I think they just need to take all of the politicians off of there, man, because it makes them lazy, and it's easier for them to be stank, you know what I'm saying? Like stop it, you know what I'm saying? Like, do the things that we do, you know what I'm saying? That you're supposed to be doing. I mean, like, maybe there should be some on the, like the national, I don't know, like maybe the government can have some sort of way that they can put out stuff on social media or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, it feels like those private companies need to just be like, look, how about this? How about all of y'all get off of this shit? And then just that damn.
Like, you don't need.
And then it'll take away all of the everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'll take away a lot of bullshit if just the politicians get their
especially for folks
nasty
like
asses
Trump.
out of there. Yeah.
Or just used it to become what they are. Like, that's why Trump is who he is, because he's just like says shit on Twitter.
Right. Yeah, man. So anyway, man. Yeah. So, what do you think we need to do locally, bro?
I think we need to storm City Hall and take it over.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, though, there is something that we learned from that. That you can't just do it. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll shoot us, actually.
Exactly. I mean, they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, but then now you see, and so that's the thing. Like, I thought about this. Like, man, I don't want to be a martyr with my work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not willing to let the police just kill me and be like, oh, he was a rough ass activist. Nah, bro, I'm not with that. I don't want that. So we know that they'll shoot us in the head. Like at our city capitol building, city hall building. You know what I'm saying? Remember when they were like, all of these people with COVID and shit, you can't come in. And like, we were like, man, bro, we should go take our ass in there. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't. We were like, that one little thought, like, they'll kill us. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's hard because we don't have the president of the United States like backing us up too. Like when you had the president,
I guess so. Yeah, I was thinking. I thought about that.
I was talking about this too with folks. Part of the reason some of those, like that lady who was crawling in through the window that got shot, you know, in the Capitol.
Oh yeah. The terrorist.
You know, she was one of these QAnon folks, and well, she believed that there were like blood-sucking pedophile Satanists in there.
Right.
Of course she's going to do that.
She's going to run up in there.
She's going to do everything she can to stop that. Like, if you believe that these, like, legitimately horrible monsters are running everything, then you probably are willing to become a martyr because you don't live in reality.
Reality, right. Yeah.
The problem is we live in reality.
Yeah, I think so.
I think a lot of those folks don't, like, share the same reality as us.
Yeah, that's another thing, man. Like, you know, their reality is, their perspective is what it is. You know what I mean? It's crazy that you couldn't tell her differently all the way up until somebody pointing a gun at her face. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird to me, bro. I don't know. Like, and she didn't have a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're talking about. Like, you know, how's this different than such as like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was messed up.
It was just annoying to me that
shot her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna like defend the cops that shot her, but I'm also not gonna defend her. Like, that was like
everybody
else was like,
was the
whoa,
tail eating itself, the snake eating its own tail.
Exactly.
Man.
Everybody else was like, whoa, they got guns. Let's stop. And she's all, nope. Let's just crawl through the window.
Yeah, like, if I go, then they'll follow me type thing. Yeah,
and
man.
she was in the military for 15 years. Like, she saw a dude in a uniform inside the Capitol aiming a gun. You'd think she would have the wherewithal to like maybe reconsider.
Yeah, man.
You know, she lived under 15 years of chain of command and like didn't think that through when she was doing that.
Well, I mean, she was in the Air Force too, though. So.
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't. They don't really. You know.
Zing.
Yeah, they're like civilians, man. But but though she know a gun shoots, and she
does exactly. And she also knows a chain of command.
She knows security, like Air Force security, the Air Force bases and stuff. Their security is ridiculous. So she understood. She knew what the hell she was doing, and I don't care, bro. Like, I don't give a damn that she was a veteran.
Yeah. I know people like to like
most of those people, that veteran shit doesn't mean nothing to me. That veteran shit don't mean nothing. Like, because I know, like myself, I fought with racists in the army.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I dealt with racists in the army, and I know that those people that are doing that are like, I served in the military, and I'm, you know, this and this, and they use that shit like. They're using that service to benefit their bigotry. You know what I'm saying? And I don't allow it, man.
I gotta say, a lot of them are full of shit too.
Hell yeah, man.
A lot of people who like, I'm a combat vet,
right?
Or like, I'm a vet. Like, you're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you served in the military during a time of war, and I can say that. Like, my grandpas are both vets and everything, you know, and they fought in they didn't fight in World War II. Mm. They were in the military in World War II, which is fine. You know, like, I'm not saying dissing or anything like that. Yeah. But I don't ever remember like my either of my grandparents being like, "Well, I'm a vet." You know what I'm saying? Because like almost every person their age would then be a vet.
Right. Exactly.
Because
like, that's what I was telling them. Like, man, you know, there's so many people that joined the army and like went through. They're like, it's hard to find somebody that wasn't involved in, especially where we're at. You know, that wasn't involved in the military. You know what I'm saying? So like, the only time that I've ever like brought it out is that when people talk to me like I don't know what the hell I'm saying, or like I'm well, you wouldn't know if you would put a uniform on. There's some that I don't know why I would let that sting me at the beginning of this whole thing, but it was just like, bro, I gotta prove to you that I was in the middle. Like, nah, I'm actually.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm all, you never bring that up, even in times where I'm all, I wish Sean would just bring this up and this would end the conversation.
Yeah, this is not something because it's not, you know, because those kind of that shit right there, man. Like, it's not. You can't use that for this shit because not all of that. Like, I don't believe in the military what the military had me doing. I'm not proud of it. Like all of this shit took my military pride from me. Like, you know, where I would have hung all my shit and did all my thing. Like, oh, I was, you know, oh, that's what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's why we was over there doing this. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. And it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't my place to at that time. You know what I'm saying? Right. But anyway, so, yeah, man, you won't see me doing that. But I will use the lessons I learned from it. You know, I was a leader. I did do the things that I needed to do to like, get through the ranks. And, like, I did go through shit. So, like, I do know I got something that I can be like, hey, we need to figure out how to kind of use these things, you know, the 30, 60, 90, you know, things little shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure
or like we were talking about yesterday, that whole, like, logistics
battle,
which sometimes I think we need to be a little bit smarter about. And not just battle, like, we were talking about it and sort of about, like, you know, fighting the cops or whatever, but just in general, like, being more organized.
Being together with it, yes. So, you know, that's funny that you said that, because I was thinking about one of the revolutions that we were talking about last week in our
New Year's
in our show.
People should check that out, by the way.
Yeah, man, y'all should check out last week's thing. But, you know, being able to create your own pot, you know what I'm saying, and your own money that you can do what you need to do with it. You know, it's easy to say, and it's easy to conceptualize. Definitely. Like, we sit and dream about, man, apartments, you know, businesses, all kind of co-op, all kind of. We're sitting, we could think of all kind of shit. But we're like, oh yeah, we need to get some. That's the whole thing. To do that.
It's, like, it's almost like capitalists control capital.
Right. Exactly, man.
That's the hardest part of
That's the hardest part of this
not
thing,
capitalists.
Man. So, you know, it really, man, I know it's kind of weird to, like, kind of break it all the way down to this, but really that's what it is, because what we watched on TV, every person in the country and probably in the world, they got a TV watch that do what happened, right? Yeah. So, you know, that is what it is. It's going to be that, and it's whatever they're going to do what they do, right? Biden is the president, and we're going to move along. They're going to try to make it just that, right? Like, everybody, mind your business. We're going to get this together over here, and we're going to push Biden out in front of the camera on the 20th. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the things that are going on here, you know, in Colorado Springs, or just, you know, wherever that you're at living, that's the shit that you got to pay attention to. Like, you know, I believe that the media does do these things, like, they do put lies and shit and, like, spin it a certain way.
The media decides even what to cover. That's my thing.
What to cover.
Media. They decide what to cover.
And
this is, admittedly, a lot of Trump supporters are like, well, they never cover the positive stuff with Trump. And I gotta say, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, the last 4 years have been like CNN anchors clutching their pearls about some dumb thing that Trump said. And like, look, I think what he said was stupid too, but
who cares?
Cover some of the policies too.
Right.
Like, Trump's,
like, teach people what it is that's happening.
Trump's policies were horrible.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple things like criminal justice reform. I was like, oh damn, okay, good.
But there was one or two things that I could be like, oh shit, all right, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Like, the clock is wrong twice a day.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, there's a whole bunch of people in there that I believe that was, like, hurting him and, like, hey man, just sign this shit, just do this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
put it together, put your fucking name on it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all presidents got that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, you know, I guess really, like, I don't care that he was an asshole. I'm glad that he's leaving, but I know that, and I don't care that Biden is, like, all of a sudden kumbaya black people and women. Right. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean anything to me. Like, it's all the same shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So for me, and that's me, and I'm hoping that you guys can see that same thing, because there's really the only way that you can break it all the way down to, like, all right, all of that is bullshit, and I just need to focus on what I can do and how do we get whatever it is that I feel like we need to have getting done on a bigger level with our own money and with our own organization or whatever is happening. You know what I'm saying? These are the reasons why you take the emotion from watching it on TV and going online and shit, and, like, actually just do one thing, do something with it. You know what I'm saying? So
don't just get outraged about the most recent outrage.
Exactly,
Focus
man.
That on
so, you know, we're talking about policy with the police. We're talking about the budget with the police. You know,
boring stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's boring until we see that they're using the money however they want. Like, that's my money too, and they're using it to kill me and people that look like me, but not you though. Mm-hmm. Like, you're cool, dude, but here's the same pot. Like, that it's all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna stay fucked up until we stop clutching our pearls. Like, oh my God, look what they're doing to black people, and we're on, you know, on our Facebook crying and shit about, you know, how you feel so bad for black people. Like, okay, we know. We've been known this.
We've known this for how long now?
Right, it's been happening. It's been happening. So it's just like, all right, stop with all this. Okay, that's all theatrical shit that they're trying us to get to and to be doing, because there's no real movement in that. There's no real progression in that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, woe is me.
Exactly.
Poor black people in America. And then Biden gets on there and he validates it. I've never heard a president say that, by the way, than what I heard him say yesterday.
What did he say?
I'm trying to remember word for word. I'm not going to remember word for word. He said something to the effect of that, you know, that it is true that black people are treated differently in this country by police, and it is wrong. He's just like,
Obama said that.
Huh?
Obama said that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he sent the Justice Department out to these. I'm not like apologizing for Obama.
No, I
here,
mean,
but
I'm not pretending that I listen to every word that they say. I just never heard it. It didn't strike me like, oh, finally we got. It didn't do that, but it was like, bitch, no shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit that I was like, okay, so now what do we like? Don't. I don't even want to hear you like trying to talk people into them being wrong. Like, this is wrong, and this is what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of Defense that he put in. I'm trying to think of his name.
I can't think of his name either. I don't know.
Anyway, dang it. Anyway, I served under him in the military, but it's a black man, and it's like, you know, I was telling somebody on my thing, like, man, I wish that he would just say, yes, I picked him because he's black. There was there was like 6 different other people that were just as qualified, that were just as good, and could have done it. Just like every other time there's a black person or a woman that was just as qualified, just as good, but I picked the old 65-year-old white man just because that's what I wanted to do. But like, tell them that's what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we're putting Native American in charge of the land. You know what I'm saying? Yes,
because they're Native American, because that's an important thing.
Exactly, dog. And it's fine to do that. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. And the up in arms, all of that, that's that racism. And the shit. And hold on, they're not supposed to be doing this here. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? That entitlement. That no, you're not supposed to have no black man doing that, or no woman doing that, Native American woman on top of that doing that. Like, man. Anyway, then he said something about Bernie Sanders. He was going to make him the Secretary of Labor.
Yeah, Secretary of Labor.
And I guess they came to an agreement that
it
was better for Bernie to stay in the Senate or something.
Oh, really? Like okay. I just saw like a little headline. I didn't.
Yeah, he laid it out. He was like, you know, whoever he put in there, he was announcing some of the cabinet members, and whoever the person was, I can't remember. He's like, you know, and I know that I should have put Bernie in here. So such and such was telling me or whatever.
I mean,
I was like,
it'd be nice to have somebody.
Channel, man. It was hard to die. It was like, all right, good job, motherfucker. Turn the channel, whatever.
Oh, that's right, Marty Walsh, the Boston mayor, is going to be secretary. Oh my God, that guy is like the worst. Too.
Exactly. Dude.
He's like such the classic old white unionist guy too, laborers union, like.
That was the breakdown I saw. Yes. I was like, oh man, come on, dude, whatever. So the honorable mention to Bernie.
Thanks, Sam.
I don't know, man. Like it doesn't make. Maybe he did. Maybe Bernie did agree that he needed to stay in the city because you know they got control of everything now. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason to go in here pussyfoot with nothing.
Yeah,
like
do it if they actually have an agenda. Like let's just sit back and watch and see if the Democrats actually push forward with an agenda that's good for.
And then the Republicans need to just be like, all right, cool. We're going to go over here and fix this shit that this dude did.
Yes,
and, like, tell them that the elections weren't rigged. Like, to teach them this shit. Like, we're going to go on a campaign to teach our base, rebuild our base. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because that's exactly the... Right now, the Democrats have this moral high ground that they can work from, too. They can be like, look... You guys are like the fascists that tried to take over, like overthrow a democratic election.
And the people are going to go with
it. And the people will go with the Democrats. But, you know, just like with the first 2 years of Obama when they controlled everything and they didn't do anything. Like, let's just wait and see what the Democrats do. Like, I'm not holding my breath. I'm going to tell you that right now. Even though they really do have like the whole moral high ground where they have, the slimmest control of the Senate.
Right, but even Kamala can she has the tiebreaker. I mean, she could
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
at the
exactly.
Senate all day and vote all day.
Yep. Well,
And
and
break the ties all
Warnock
day.
and Ossoff ran as progressives in Georgia.
Yeah.
And they won.
They won,
They
yeah.
weren't
That was
running as
crazy,
like
dude.
they weren't like I'm pretty much a Republican.
But I'm gonna,
You
I
know,
got the flag.
I
on
just have
different.
I just have a D.
Nah, yeah.
You know, they were like, no, I'm an unabashed progressive, and they still won.
Yeah.
And I think that people,
Stacey Abrams. Thanks to Stacey Abrams and that work, bro.
exactly,
I didn't realize.
because she's been pushing like
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, you know, I tracked after she lost the governor. What is the governorship? The governor's run. I understood what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that she was like, I'm about to fix this right now. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
she's been
And she's
making
like
this like
grinding on that thing. And so
like for
they said
years
like
and
10
years.
years that she's been on it,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah.
So that's dope to me, bro. That
Well,
was
see,
like
that's what
humongous.
happens when you actually enfranchise people.
Right.
When people feel like they can
have-
vote and
right.
they have something to vote for,
You get all of a sudden you get the most people voting in
and
the history
and they'll
of the
vote
country.
for. I think what's so interesting too is they're like unabashed progressives, and I don't think those people storming the Capitol. I don't think it was lost on them that Georgia just elected a black man and a Jewish man
Oh, yeah, it was
for
hot about
senators.
that.
I'm sure that those neo-Nazis storming the Capitol were just fuming.
Yeah,
at that.
straight from Georgia.
Yeah,
Straight from Georgia.
exactly. Like I
They
think
was
that
mad
was
about
part of what was happening.
Yeah, it was some folks from Colorado too with their
Yeah.
raggedy asses.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I hope they, bro. To be honest, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'd rather them let it slide, and so that we can act a fool, or do I
Right.
want them to like pound them? You know how they
Yeah.
do.
I mean, because you kind of you want to see like
Yeah, cause like you know how the police
the,
like ran up in our people's house. I don't even really want to talk about the shit because I don't like anyway.
Yeah.
It still happened.
Yeah.
They ran up in the shit.
FBI
Tanks, the up armored vehicles, through the ladder, through the window, bombed the shit
Yeah.
over whatever happened here in the city.
Yeah, which was nothing. Like which was
Yeah. This is crazy
A
to me.
mild demonstration.
Yeah, man. And that so all I know is they had a dude with his foot up on the old girl desk.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I know he better got his ass whooped. He didn't look like he got whooped to me.
No.
It looked like he tried to shade to hide his identity.
Yeah.
Man, it just pisses me off even thinking about this shit,
Yeah.
man.
I'll tell you what. So my favorite part of this, and we should probably, well, we have a little time.
Okay.
Was when Trump is down at the rally saying, "March on the Capitol," and then saying like, "I love you people at the Capitol.
Yeah.
You're all my best friends." And meanwhile, you have like Representative Gates or whatever his name is, and other people online being like, "This is Antifa. Antifa's doing this." And well, how can you have it both ways? You cannot have it both ways.
That you know, and exactly like what do they know what Antifa means? That's just like how do we? Why do
Somebody
we
actually
still
said that it's
need to go
fascist
over-
Antifa that are doing this. And I was like, you can't say fascist Antifa. It's literally an oxymoron.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, bro. Anyway, the conversation, like you, there's a certain point where you just like let stupid people be stupid. It just doesn't make sense. Like, how do you not know what Antifa means, but you say it
Yeah.
every day?
Well,
You're like labeling people.
Well,
by
my
that you
favorite
don't
part
know.
too is supposedly there was evidence of this, of Antifa
Right.
in there, and somebody said like, oh, there was a high-ranking cop from New York who said that there was evidence of people in the demonstration chanting Antifa, Antifa, and I was like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
When have you ever been to a demonstration or watched one and heard Antifa folks chanting
Antifa.
We're just declaring in the
This
middle
is
of this
who we are.
right-wing demonstration,
Right.
we're Antifa.
You know, for me, man, you know, just to get to like the shit here in the Springs, man. I'm thinking about that Gazette editor, man.
Yeah.
And bro, I feel
He was
like
one of them.
we need to show him what Antifa looks like.
Yeah, right.
I
yeah.
feel like, you know, he don't know, since he doesn't understand,
Right.
like, this is what Antifa, maybe we should fucking show him. And especially being that they're the biggest newspaper in the city.
And they're owned by the wealthiest person in Colorado.
Yeah.
Who owns the Broadmoor.
Yeah,
who owns
got a hospital named after them. It's
Yeah.
like all of this stuff, man. Yeah, man, I think that, yeah, man, that, I feel
they
like
should have an understanding.
it's yeah, man. The Gazette, and don't nobody like the Gazette anyway.
I know, but
like
you have
even
to
people
read it
even
because
the conservatives don't like the Gazette.
no.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You just
nobody
have to
likes
read
the
it, though,
Gazette.
because it's the like paper that covers things. Like independent, whatever they cover stuff, but it's just a tiny little paper.
Right. Because they I bet if they could sell more to people, they would get bigger.
Yeah. Well, did you know the Gazette bought the old liberal newspaper back in the day and closed it down.
Oh yeah. I think Sam, either you or Sam, something about that.
Typical.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so like, I'm not saying, fuck the federal government problems and things that they're going through. I've been watching it every day. You know what I'm saying? And I've been watching what Fox News. I've been watching how they're like. But you guys were doing it, but it was the same.
Yeah.
And like, watching their arguments or whatever. And because to be honest, man, I'm just tired of I'm tired of Don Lemon.
God.
I'm tired of
Don,
Cuomo.
what's he gonna do when Trump leaves?
Yeah.
Like every single night is him just being outraged,
Yeah.
just outraged
just
about
like,
Donald Trump.
Dang, bro,
Come on,
I'm
Don.
tired of that, man. I can't put up with too much more of that. So anyway, I'm like, well, let me just see what they're talking about, like how they're spinning this thing and making it look. And they're calling it a riot, and they're calling it like doing these things.
Insurrection.
They're right, but they're like, but they're defending like all the things that the people are saying. So like, this was just unprecedented. The president doing this, so they're trying to find Maxine Waters.
Oh,
with
right,
the,
yeah, they want
find them at the restaurant, and there's a couple other times when the politicians were like, no, go get their ass. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is,
the good trouble. They were talking
Right,
about
yeah,
they put John Lewis on that thing, talking about the good trouble.
The thing is, no protesters that I've seen
That was
ever
good trouble.
showed up to demonstrations with zip ties.
Yeah, man, that shit pissed me off,
That's
bro.
like,
That took me over. That took me
are
over.
you? Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of like hit me kind of
Yeah, like, y'all still
like
going
a
there taking
gut
people
punch.
hostage.
Like, oh, so you guys are taking people hostage?
Yeah, that would have pissed me off.
The
bro.
camera on your chest,
Yeah.
like that's some
Zip
like.
ties. Yeah, man.
What do you got planned there,
Right.
fella?
And did they get it? I bet you know what? They ain't gonna get him. They're not gonna, unless he was like completely stupid and parked his car right there in front of the bank or something.
I mean, at least he was one of the smart ones that just didn't have his face plastered
with his
all
work
over
ID.
international.
Dude had his work ID swinging. I was like, man, y'all were, like, you honestly, that's how y'all are dumb.
Yeah.
You
Well,
guys are
and I
really,
gotta
like,
say,
stupid.
so
Like, it's naivety that made you do that because obviously don't know what the fuck you're doing.
and a lot of these folks, everybody's like, oh, it's these white working class folks that support Trump. I'm all, how many working folks can afford like full body armor, multiple assault rifles,
Right, yeah.
all of this specialized gear? In fact, one of the people that got fired was a CEO from a big corporation because it's mostly like upper middle class white folks.
You know, when we were
Trump's base.
when we were at Van Lance's house, I can't remember the group. I wanted shit. No, I can't remember the group that it was that was responding. I can't. It was the what's Tig's group called? Whatever that
I
group
can't remember,
is.
but Tig,
So,
yeah.
they were like, meet us at the Harley Davidson parking lot or whatever. So we were parked down there, right? And this dude speeds up to
That's
us.
right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he's driving this dope ass AMG Mercedes or something. Was it BMW?
No, it was Audi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dope ass Audi, right? It was an
Nice.
Audi.
Not
Yeah.
Audi A5.
And he gets out, he has the little specs on and this shit. You could tell he's paid, like the dude's got money somewhere.
totally.
But he came to the protest to fight us, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't realize it was us. So we were like, no, we're right here, bro. What's happening? Then he got in his car and left.
Well,
About
once
to
he
get him
saw
saying
it,
right here.
when he saw, he was kind of surrounded. Like my favorite part of that was like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. When Q goes and gets that bat,
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah.
and he's like, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, man. But I had my pistol right there inside the door. So it's like, oh wait, was my car there? Anyway, he pulled up and I was like, yeah, I am them. I'm the one you looking for, motherfucker.
Yeah,
man, he
funny.
pulled off.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was paid, man. He put the nice ass
And he took
exhaust
off in
and
his
shit.
nice ass.
Them people got money, man, and it's people that are in charge, that have businesses, that are the doctors, that are doing these things, and these lawyers, all of this shit. And then you're supposed to trust them when you go into their business and to their hospital and take their vaccine and all of this shit. Like, it doesn't make no sense.
I'm not with you on the vaccine.
I know you're
part,
not, but I'm saying,
understand why
it's the same shit to me. It's the same. I don't see no difference in. Why would I? What if he was a doctor, bro? You would take a vaccine from that dude?
Wow.
Fuck no, I'm not taking a vaccine from that dude, or his friend or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit there, and it happens to black people all the time in these hospitals, man. And from these people, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's the real outrage. Like, there was 30,000 Americans, however many people it was, Americans that were like, yep, we're going in there, and then there were Congress people, there were elected
one
officials.
Of the people arrested was
there was
West
two. Well,
Virginia.
one of them, I saw the West Virginia guy got arrested. The other one, no, maybe he was on some sort of commission or something.
Oh, okay.
But he was on Facebook Live there. We're gonna go in and get him out of their office and kick him out. And so he's all the way on the sidewalk talking shit. He probably isn't gonna get in any trouble, or they maybe get fired. You know what I'm saying? But while they were in there killing people, you know what I'm saying? It's just the silliest shit, man. But so I feel like that's where you need to, like, everybody needs to think about, like, it's not like gone away from you 1,000 miles away. Nah, bro. That's everywhere that you're at, everywhere that you go. Them people's in there.
Yeah.
They are. It's
Tig is here.
He lives
Colorado.
here. Yeah, man.
Like,
And he lives, and he was the reason why. I don't know if you remember this summer, the roofers, they got held at gunpoint. Like, they're Antifa walking through the neighborhood, and they pulled a gun out and held them hostage. He went to jail or whatever, but that's Tig's group. That's the same kind of shit that they was on. Yeah, man. So I'm guarantee you, Tig and them. Yeah, Tig and them has definitely had a group out there represent. I wonder if he
I'm sure.
was online with
UDAF.
it.
He started that group, UDAF, United, whatever, UA. I can't remember exactly. Where they collect dues, so they can
get money off of the people. Yeah,
All right.
dude.
Sam says take the vaccine, Sean. I agree.
Hey, I just saw just this morning a doctor in Miami died, and they're accrediting their vaccine for it. It was an allergic reaction. Yeah.
I've heard about the allergic reactions, but still, that's pretty rare.
It'd be rare with them. It won't be rare with me. I'll be all right, man. It's all right. It's cool. But all
right.
Yeah, man. So yeah, hey guys, get out there, man. Get out there, organize, realign, get it together, because there's no way that we should let this like kind of fester.
Well, yeah, we shouldn't be like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, figure out what's going on and let's get on top of it. You know what I'm saying? And
take care of those fascists here.
Yeah.
That work at the Gazette.
Yeah.
And also don't rest on our laurels. I don't rest. Don't rest on our whatever.
Because we do got a little good feeling here in the city.
Yeah.
We kind of got a different vibe going. All of the stuff is the Juneteenth and there's all kind of things happening. You know what I'm saying? So it feels good, but really, there's not real much policy change has happened. You know what I'm saying? SB 217 kicked in on the first, so you're seeing some of the
biggest thing.
You're seeing some of the effects of that too right now. But there's more, bro.
Let's push for actual
things. You know
things.
what I'm saying? And let's focus on the Gazette, man. I want to, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's take over make it the People's Gazette.
The People's Gazette.
All right.
Hey,
my cousin, by the way,
Smart
says 21 anaphylactic reactions out of 1.9 doses. Do you mean 1.9 million? I don't know.
Oh.
He's trying to convince you to take the.
Oh. I feel you. I'm about. You could decide. You guys got me on the science, man. I'm just telling you what my gut's telling me.
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm good on it. But yeah, man.
What were you saying? Sorry.
I forgot.
About the Gazette.
Oh yeah, I was saying maybe we could put Smurf Nacho in charge.
Yeah, he
Smurf Nacho tells more. Yeah, he's already good.
He's already
Gazette.
the news.
So we can put him in charge and tell the truth.
That's right. CEO of the Gazette.
Yeah, Smurf Nacho. I'm about to make a post. Well, after they unblock my page, man. Yeah. Hopefully they let me back on before then, man, because I got a whole lot of shit, man. But
just make a fake profile that's like.
Nah. I got shit I gotta focus on. I'm just gonna do this and do this other stuff, man. And I was threatening cops and politicians too, like, man, go rob them, running their shit.
Right. We don't. I mean, we don't. You don't do that anywhere else. Otherwise,
I don't do it, but I will. All we gotta do is tell me there's like 500 people, and we're going to do it. I'm coming with y'all. With my orange shoes on and K-Land community. I'll put on a just
do actual shirt. Black block actually. When people everybody dresses in black.
Everybody dress in black block. You can't go wrong, man. Exactly. They proved that. That's the opposite of what they did.
Exactly. Well, we're at an hour now.
All right, yeah.
Let's stop.
Stop it right here. The
Thanks
camera
a lot, everybody.
messed it all up, man. I see it's looking all crazy, but I like it though, man. We got a little placard on there and stuff, man. We appreciate y'all, man. We're getting closer to how many shows?
I don't know. Let's go. I think it's like 27.
I know that we're almost at a year, and we're almost like at a threshold for like hitting this little algorithm on YouTube and stuff with our entries and stuff.
People need to listen to us.
Yeah, man. We got we got some good conversation.
We spin knowledge and science and facts.
We're growing a pretty good editor here, man. This guy's good. Nah. All right,
we're figuring out the technology a little bit more. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, God. Appreciate it. You got to hit the mic, man, because I got the cords in front of me.
Peace, everybody.
All right, y'all.